In this video, I will show you how it's possible to make beef into an antioxidant meat, thereby restoring its properties as if it were freshly aged. Because meat, just like many other foods, tends to oxidize and lose its qualities over time, precisely because oxidizing elements, the well-known free radicals, oxidize the food, causing it to lose its quality and its original freshness. So here I have a fresh package of beef that I am now going to carefully open, and I'm going to gently take out a single individual slice of meat. There are actually more than just one. As you can clearly see here, so this is indeed a specific slice of meat, and I'm going to meticulously cut off some of the excess parts to make it a bit easier and more manageable to properly use. Then I will precisely cut this substantial beefsteak exactly in half, right down the middle. So it's the same slice that I'm cutting. Now here I have a bowl, and I leave half of the meat here on the plate, while the other half I'm going to soak with a special kind of water, specifically an antioxidant water rich in molecular hydrogen. So I carefully turn on the tap, gently rotate the knob, and now the fresh tap water flows directly and continuously into this device. The water that comes out here is remarkably rich in beneficial molecular hydrogen, as I will thoroughly show you in a comprehensive test using some specialized instruments I have readily available. So this particular water will inherently possess a significant antioxidant effect on this fresh raw meat, and we will also meticulously observe and analyze its various inherent properties and characteristics. So here, as you can see, there's also a timer to show you that what we're doing isn't a cut video, but rather a video without interruptions, precisely to demonstrate the authenticity of what I'm showing you. Here I have some tools that allow me to see whether a food is oxidizing or antioxidant. So they let me understand if a particular water has an antioxidant effect. In actual fact, if I were to take, for example, ordinary tap water and I were to go over here to obtain some tap water, this particular water is actually significantly oxidizing water. In fact, as you can clearly see, if I carefully place the instrument here, specifically the ORP meter, you can observe that it prominently shows a positive value. Do you see? We are around 300, so it's water that oxidizes. Just like what happens in the air when it gives off oxygen, this water has a positive oxidation reduction potential. So it's water that tends to oxidize the free radicals, in fact tend to oxidize it. But if I put this water in, if I place this probe here, you can see that the value drops, and we're actually at the minus 600. So this is antioxidant water. It's having an antioxidant effect on the meat. This device has a titanium tip, as you can see, and this tip is what allows me to measure the ORP meter, the oxidation reduction potential of a food, a liquid, and so on. So now, what are we going to do? Let's see whether the meat we commonly eat, which we never soak in water, it's not customary to immerse it in water from the tap, is an oxidizing or an antioxidant food. And then we will meticulously compare with meat that has been completely immersed in specially prepared hydrogenated water, that is to say, water abundantly rich in molecular hydrogen, which, as you have undoubtedly seen in our other informative videos, is truly remarkable antioxidant water. So let's take a look for a moment. Now I'm going to insert the tip of this instrument right into the meat, putting it in direct contact with the meat. As you can see, I've pierced the meat with the tip of the ORP meter, And you can see that the meat has an oxidation level of around 175. Why is that? Well, it's because foods oxidize, and this means that the taste of the meat is often not what we expect. Maybe it's a flavor that doesn't satisfy our palate, precisely because this meat, from the time it was aged to when it arrived on our table, is meat that has oxidized. That is, the processes of oxidation and aging have started to make the cells of this meat oxidize. So the processes of oxidation and aging not only cause the meat to age from an organoleptic, aesthetic, and visual point of view, but especially if the meat is left for a long time, it putrefies precisely because the oxidation processes continue. With this hydrogenated water, which is water-rich in molecular hydrogen, I'll show you that it's rich in molecular hydrogen using this device. You see, here it says, I hope, you can see it H2 meter right here, so it's a molecular hydrogen meter, because molecular hydrogen can be measured. It's a molecule with the chemical formula H2, since it consists of 2 hydrogen atoms. This is our glass of tap water. If I place it here, you can see that the value is 0, because this is water that does not contain molecular hydrogen. All the water we find in bottles or from the tap never contains molecular hydrogen, because molecular hydrogen is produced by ionizers that separate the hydrogen from the water, whose formula is H2O1 mm. The splitting of hydrogen occurs when hydrogen and hydrogen meet, form a covalent bond, and join together to create 2 hydrogen atoms. In fact, if I check here, you'll see that the value actually starts to rise, mm, and so this water is antioxidant water, and that's its incredible feature. This water is antioxidant water. So it's water that is able to create an antioxidant effect on food, and in this case, specifically on meat. So now you can see here there's the regular slice, and here is the slice that I immersed in molecular hydrogen. One thing that stands out is that, first of all, the meat has lightened. It has become a bit paler. You can see how this piece of meat, compared to the other one, looks a bit lighter, almost like veal. So it's as if the meat is less aged. In fact, if I place my meter here and insert the tip of the meter into the meat, piercing it, going a bit deeper as if it were a needle. So here, you see, I've pierced the meat here, and the value has dropped the value right now. You see, is even around 0. So we've removed a bit less. We've eliminated, let's say, the oxidation processes. You see, now I'm piercing it better. Sorry about that, because this video is continuous. Of course, it's a bit of a challenge, since I have to do everything in one go, with all the difficulties that come with not doing any editing. You see, now it's clear we're at minus 46, 47. This meat has become a meat that it's as if the meat has been rejuvenated. We've turned back the hands of time. Here on the clock, you can see the hands moving forward. I also left this running to show that there's continuity, so you can see the time passing without interruption. So, what is the beauty of this meat then? That when you basically have this process of rejuvenating the food in this case, the meat, the processes that counteract oxidation are not only evident from an instrumental and visual point of view, but also in the taste. Cooking antioxidant meat means, well, cooking with water treated with molecular hydrogen. So with ionized water, with antioxidant water. It means bringing the food to a level, to an action, to a quality that truly makes a real difference. And those who cook using this system, with this antioxidant cooking method, really manage to achieve incredible results.